This is the Fiat 500e. It's a pure EV built on a dedicated EV platform. And yeah, the thing I like about this car is that it has DNA back to the original Fiat 500 from 1957. It's built on the Fiat plant in Turin in Italy. I like that. But a little fun fact. Did you know that the original Fiat 500, the one from 1957, was actually 70 centimeters shorter than this car? I love the design of the 500e, and in my opinion this could be the perfect only car if you're just two persons with a normal driving need. The immediate competitors for a car like this would be the Honda E and the Mini Cooper SE. Both of those cars has a substantially smaller battery than this car. This one is the large battery model, and that's the car I would prefer and go for. The Honda E and the Mini Cooper SE both have batteries of just between 28 and 29 kilowatt hours net capacity. This car has a battery of 37.3 kilowatt hours net capacity and 42 kilowatt hours total capacity actually. And that gives this car a WLTP range of 321 kilometers, which is almost 100 kilometers more than its competitors. I know, here in, still winter temperatures just around 0 degrees Celsius here in Denmark, you're not gonna get 321 kilometers out of this car. I'll get back to my consumption with this car. I've been driving it for a week later in this video. Now the cabin in the 500e, I won't lie to you, this is not a car for a large family. As I said, it's perfect for two persons. The cabin materials, they're actually pretty good. If you look at the infotainment, this is a 10.25-inch screen. It's responsive, it has nice graphics, it's perfect. And the Uconnect 5 system which Fiat uses is actually very good. It's easy to find your way around in, and it's, as I said, responsive. Works great. The navigation in this car is from TomTom and gives you estimated state of charge, and that's the function you want if you're going on a long journey, because it always tells you how much state of charge you will arrive to your next stop with. That could be your charging stop or your destination. And it also preconditions the battery prior to DC charging. The materials in the cabin, it's okay. There's a little scratchy plastic here and there, but all in all, it's pretty good. And the practicality of the cabin, it's good for two persons. You have a rear seat. That's not a great amount of space there. But a little life hack could be that your passenger seat here on the right side, there's actually so much space down to the footwell that you can push this seat a little further towards the front, and that would give you a little more space to the rear passenger. But it's only for a short journey. Then I'd like to talk about driving modes, because this car has 3 driving modes. It has normal mode, and then it has range mode, and it has Sherpa mode. Normal mode makes the car go as you would go in a fossil car. You know, you have to use the brakes and all that stuff. If you go to range mode, the biggest difference is that you get one pedal driving all the way to a halt. If you release the accelerator, the car decelerates pretty quickly actually, and all the way down to 0 kilometers an hour. And that's great, especially when you're driving around town. Then there's the Sherpa mode. Sherpa mode is a panic mode where it shuts down the AC and limits the speed of 80 kilometers an hour. I haven't been driving that mode. As I said, this is not a car for a large family. You get a little booth. Oh, hey, cool. Actually didn't know it did that. Now we can open the booth. And you get this little bag for your charging cable. You'll need that. There's no frunk in a car like this, which sucks, but that's how it is. And again, trunk space here, it's okay if you're two persons for your grocery, stuff like that. You can put the rear seats down, so if you're going on a longer journey, then you can put your big bags and stuff like that in the cabin and combine that with the trunk space. The rear window, rear glass, perfect. I know, a little data on this car. The car has a permanent magnet motor, always front wheel drive. It does 87 kilowatts, that's equivalent to 118 horsepower. It has 220 Newton meters, and that makes the car accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. Fiat claims at 9 seconds. But how this car accelerates, I'd like to show you right now. I did an acceleration test. I'm a Danish YouTuber, and I did a full 30-minute video with this car in Danish. It's no subtitles, so yeah, you'll have to go with this one if you don't speak Danish. But in my Danish video, I accelerated this car from 0 to 130 kilometers an hour at 44% state of charge in weather conditions like this. That's temperatures approximately about 0 degrees Celsius. That equals cold tires. But how it went out, you can check out right here. Og vi prøver. Raceboksen er klar. 3, 2, 1. Go. Wow. Ej, det er ikke det hurtigste i verden. 80. 100. Ja. That's pretty decent. At 44% state of charge, the car still accelerates faster than Fiat claims. That's pretty good. Another thing I would like to talk about shortly is the noise level in the cabin. A car like this, of course, this is the cab version. I assume it's a little more noisy than the normal versions, but a car like this, it has the same noise level at 80 kilometers an hour that cars like the Ioniq 5 and Skoda Enyaq has at 130 kilometers an hour. It's a thing I measure in all my Danish videos, and that's where I have the data from. Another thing that's pretty interesting when we're talking EVs is, of course, how fast the car charges. Fiat claims that this car can charge up to 85 kilowatts at a DC charger. I did a charging test of this car from 10 to 80%, a thing I do in all my Danish videos, and how that went out, you can check out right here. 24 minutes from 10 to 80%. Combined with estimated state of charge in the TomTom navigation and preconditioning of the battery, this car is actually pretty capable of going a long journey also. Now, I've been driving this car for a week. And first, when I drove the car home, I drove it by country roads at 80 kilometers an hour. It's approximately 0 degrees Celsius. And my consumption was 168 watt-hours per kilometer, and that would give me a range on a 100% charged battery on 222 kilometers. I also drove the car at constantly 130 kilometers an hour on the motorway. I actually had an average speed of over 125. So that's a little unfair in real world conditions. You know, there's a truck, a lolly that's maybe overtaking, stuff like that, so you would go slower. But at 130 constantly, the consumption is 275 watt-hours per kilometer, and that would on a full charge give me 135 kilometers of range. Of course, you would get a little more because, yeah, as I told you, well, sometimes you go slower. And another thing, if you want to charge, again, if you only charge to 80%, well, you only have 80% of the 135 kilometers. But actually the car charges pretty rapidly, also up to 90%. I also tried to drive 110 kilometers an hour on the motorway, and that's actually saved me quite some juice. Then my consumption went down to approximately 220 watt-hours per kilometer, and that would give me a range on a full charge of 170 kilometers. And again, that's at constantly 110 kilometers an hour. So that was my little video with this little car. If you like my content, feel free to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and of course, check out some of my other videos in English. See you. Bye.